Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on how to hack. So today we'll be discussing again about reverse engineering a mobile application and looking into the source code to be able to find out more information about the application and sometimes even being able to get the username, password, credit card details, and all these different details. So over here on the left side, I have a mobile phone running, and what we can do is we can open up this particular application. So we actually have this app called Dex2Jar that has been installed onto the mobile phone. So I can go ahead and open it up. So once I open it up, over here we have input validation issues part 1. So of course this is part of our mobile application penetration testing series. And of course clicking onto input validation issues part 1, we'll be able to enter a specific name to search for it. So from the previous video, we actually went through how we could actually do a SQL injection directly into the system. So for example, over here, I can actually use a magnifier, so it is easier for you to see. So of course, from the objective, we can see that we are trying to access the user data without knowing any of the username. And of course, they also provided a hint for us to learn about mobile application penetration testing directly against this mobile application. So of course, we can go ahead and enter the username. So in our case, we can enter, for example, admin. So once I hit admin, I can go ahead and click on search, and we'll be able to look at the username, password, and credit card details. So of course, from the previous video, we actually learned about putting SQL injection into the mobile application in order to gain access into the data. So in our case, I can enter, for example, single quote or 1 = 1 followed by semicolon. So I go ahead and click on search, and it will review to us all of those usernames, passwords, and all those data directly inside the system. Okay, so that is provided the input query is subjected and vulnerable to SQL injection. But what if the mobile application is not vulnerable to SQL injection? So what we will need to do is to reverse engineer the mobile application. So on the right side, so as recommended on the members only video, so under Dex Tools, we actually learned about how we could actually break down the APK file into JAR file and be able to view into the source code. So what we can do now is to actually go ahead and use the function to help us do the conversion of the file. So D2J dash Dex2Jar.bat. So there's also a .sh for you if you're on Linux system. So all you got to do is enter the APK file. So in our case, we got dvar-beta.apk. So go ahead and hit enter on that. All right, so we can use a /force and hit enter on that. So that will begin the conversion process. So once the conversion process is completed, we'll be able to get a JAR file as being specified over here. So we got dvar-beta-dex2jar.jar. So go back into the folder and scroll all the way down. And of course, over here, we have a number of tutorials for you. So we are going to learn more about OAuth's good droid, all right, especially in terms of the fall goods as well as hurt financial. Okay, so we'll be going through those tutorials later on. And what we can see over here is that we have over here the file. All right, so we got dvar-beta-dex2jar.jar. So this is the file. And we have also downloaded as part of our previous video, one of the previous videos about mobile application penetration testing. So we actually have JD-GUI. So we can open this up. All right, so once we have it running, all we got to do is drag the dvar-beta-dex2jar.jar into the Java decompiler. So once you have done that, on the left side, we can look at the more information about this JAR file. So we have Jakhar Asim Dvar. So go ahead and open that up, and we can look at all the different classes. So we have API credentials, access control, and of course the one thing that we want to look at is to open up the SQL injection activity. So go ahead and click open on that. And over here, we can immediately find more information. So we have SQL I, we have the drop table if exists, SQL I user, else it would actually create a table. All right, so once you've dropped the table, it will create a table, and we have the user variable character, password variable character, and credit card variable character. And immediately, we can find all three user records inside this mobile application directly by viewing the source code that has been hard-coded. All right, so hard-coded sent into the SQL file. And that is how we actually gain access to those credentials where we will actually try to do the SQL injection. All right, and of course, in our case, by being able to break down the JAR file or the APK file, we can gain direct entry into the source code and know exactly what kind of file, what kind of data is being stored or created inside the system. So once again, I hope you learned something valuable in today's tutorial. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll try my best to answer any of your questions. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you can be kept abreast of the latest cybersecurity tutorial. Thank you so much once again for watching.